Kendrick, we need ya. Hip hop savior. All right. Long story short, Kendrick won. It's over. I don't think anybody's gonna make any more diss tracks. I think the damage has been done, and I'm here to give you my opinion on why I think Kendrick won. Now, before saying all this, I'm not here to change anybody's mind. If you're a Drake fan, you're going to think the way you want to think. If you're a Kendrick fan, you're going to think you want to think. That's just how it is, okay? So, cool. So, let's break it down. If they're both telling the truth, and both allegations are true on both sides, then you have to pick the lesser of two evils. I think we all know that Kendrick will win that battle. I mean, they would both look like biggest pieces of shit in the world, but you know, if one person's telling the truth and the other person is lying, then the person who told the truth won. And that's the only way Drake can win this battle, in my opinion. Now, here's where it gets tricky. If they're both lying, then we need to pick who told the lie better. Who fought the better battle? Who had the better strategy? So on and so forth. And in my opinion, I think Kendrick in all this had the best strategy to beat Drake. So when you're breaking down these two artists and you break down how they went about doing this rap battle, you have to have a criteria for everything. So my criteria for this is strategy, lyrics, delivery, public opinion, and closing arguments. Okay? So let's break it down. I'm going to tell you why Kendrick won. Let's start off with Like That. Now, a lot of people aren't going to count Like That because it was a feature verse. It came out of nowhere. It wasn't really a Kendrick song per se, but we all know why it went number one, okay? And it's pretty much the first shot in this whole battle. I think it was a strategically brilliant move to pop up on a future Metro album where there is no feature list. They had no feature list, so you didn't know who was where. So when you watch the reactions, when you hear Like That and you hear Kendrick's part, everybody's just like in awe, right? I think that was a brilliant move, and I thought this was really the first time that Kendrick really directed shots at somebody without being nice, right? You had the control verse, it was all competition. I named names, a bunch of names, but this one was more like, I'm shooting at you. J. Cole, I'm kind of shooting at you, but Drake, I'm shooting at you. Like, what's up? Cool. Like That comes out. So then, everybody on the internet saying, Drake, you're on the clock. You got 24 hours, 48 hours. And to his credit, he took his time. I don't think anybody was mad at it. And then push-ups came. Okay? And here's what I'll give Drake credit on this one. Push-ups was a diss for everybody. Okay? Mainly for Kendrick. But Rick Ross, you get it. Future, you get it. Metro, you get it. You know? So I thought that was a smart, safe play. And then he makes TaylorMade. Okay? Now, for those of you that don't know, TaylorMade is the AI Tupac and AI Snoop track with Drake at the end. I thought strategically it was a brilliant move to try to get Kendrick off of his pedestal, right? Trying to speed up the pace for somebody who plays at his own pace. If you're talking about basketball terms, like Nikola Jokic, you're not going to speed up Nikola Jokic. You're not going to speed up Luka Doncic. They play their style and their pace, and that's why they're so good. So it was a brilliant move to A, psychologically mess with Kendrick, and B, show your interest in this battle. You know, you had that part where you said, nah, not this time. You're following through. I thought that was brilliant. But one of the things is that track came to bite him back in the ass. Pause. And I'm not talking about it being taken down by Tupac's estate. I'm talking about the part where he had Tupac say, tell him I like little girls. You're giving this man ammo. And something that's going to backfire. But we'll get to that later. So then, time goes by. Taylor Swift drops. Obviously, that's why Kendrick didn't make another diss track. That's why Drake made Taylor Made, making fun of Kendrick because Taylor Swift dropped. So, time goes by. And I think it was 14 days, 15 days, something like that. Something in that 2-week span. Euphoria comes out, okay? And I think Euphoria at the time, it wasn't a kill shot. It was kind of a get even type diss track. You know, if you compare Push-Ups to Euphoria, at that time, it was, you know, one or the other. It wasn't really a decisive winner in that, in my opinion. But I think Kendrick won in a lot of moments in that track because he showed a lot of diversity, right? You had beat switches, you had different, you know, melodic, and then you go to fast rapping, and then you go to where he's talking his shit. He's using, you know, the Canadian slang, crody. He's addressing, you know, all different angles in Drake's armor. He's dissecting him in different layers, right? I think that all of this is just a lead up to how am I going to attack you, right? You can't, like, how do you eat an elephant? You take one bite at a time. And I think Kendrick took one bite at a time at Drake. Pause. So Euphoria drops. It's probably going to be a #1 single. And then he drops 616 in LA. Now this is where everything gets reached out of proportion, right? Everybody is using 616, going to Bible verses, going to different dates of shows being released, the OJ trial. Like, we get it. But one thing it does do, though, it does make Kendrick seem even more mystique and divine, and it builds this character to make it seem possible, right? And we didn't even talk about the J. Cole shit yet. Like, J. Cole making a 7-minute drill and then apologizing 2 days after and taking it down makes Kendrick even more boogeyman-ish, if you will. So 616 in LA drops, and he breaks down how, you know, he plays a Have You Ever, which I thought was brilliant as well. Have you ever thought that OVO was working for me? Okay. So now we have a mole in Drake's camp, allegedly. Okay. Now this makes everything look like Drake is paranoid. He's spiraling, as Kendrick was saying, Euphoria. But here's the thing. Kendrick says, I know information. I know your every move. I know what you're going to do. I know what people are saying about you. Your right-hand man that's standing next to you, look at him and be scared because he might be working for me. So whatever you think, whatever you're about to do, whatever nuke you have, don't do it. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm giving you a warning. You can bow out now. Do not do it. And if you're Drake, let's just say, I'll get to that later. So, Drake drops Family Matters, right? And look, this is all happening in a span of a day, right? From Euphoria to 616 in LA to Family Matters, Meet the Grams, not like all this is happening within a day and a half. It's crazy. And that's why I think timing is everything. So Family Matters drops, and you can tell that this song was made all in one take, but Drake broke down parts of it. So Push-Ups was just a part of the whole song, and then Family Matters was the rest of it. I think we all can say that's how it is. So we're here. The big bomb, the big nuke is Dave Free, which is Kendrick's manager, is really the father of Kendrick's fiance's son and not Kendrick. Okay. Him beating on his wife, allegedly. That's a big bomb. And, you know, there's some subtle shots how you're a fake activist and you're trying to free the slaves, and, you know, we get it. If you let that track simmer and you give it time, I think it would have worked. I think a lot of opinions would have been changed. I think the narrative would have been a whole lot different if you let Family Matters cook. But, like I said, strategy is everything. And when we're breaking down this battle where nothing is proven yet, you have to base it off of how the battle was fought. 7 minutes later, after Family Matters drops, Kendrick drops Meet the Grams. And this is not a catchy song at all. Like, I will never play Meet the Grams ever again. And if you hear Meet the Grams on the street, call the police and arrest them because they're gonna do something illegal. Like, this song is sick, it's twisted, it's eerie, like, you know what I mean? But what it did was, it countered Drake's nuke to where you didn't give everybody time to even react. You didn't give anybody any time to even dissect what you're saying, to go do the research and do the internet games. He stomped on that shit. He stomped on his nuke. And what he said in there was even more sick and twisted. And if you're an author, if you're a writer, if you're an artist, you would appreciate work like this. I'm not. I'm just a hip-hop fan. But at that moment, what it did benefited Kendrick so much that no one's even, like, people have to go back to Family Matters now and be like, damn, this is a good song, but Meet the Grams just stomped on it. So, Meet the Grams, he wrote a letter to his son, off rip. I thought it was over. When I heard Dear Adonis, I said, that's game. That's game. Kendrick won. But then he said, you know, he wrote a letter to Drake's mom, Drake's dad, Drake's alleged daughter, and how Kendrick's calling him a PDF. And, like, he's just calling him a liar. And just addressing all these problems and just dissecting him as a man. Like, hitting every angle that you could possibly think of. It's crazy. And we get to the second to last song of this battle. Not Like Us drops right after Meet the Grams. He didn't let Drake respond to none of that. You're going to get this 1-2 piece, this counterpunch, and then you're going to get the knockout. Not Like Us is going to be played everywhere. All the catchphrases, all the OV hoes, the A minor line, it's over. It's over. It's over. Like, and then, like, we don't even have to go into that song. Like, we know what that song is gonna do. It's gonna be #1 everywhere. It's gonna be played everywhere. Everybody's gonna be crip walking to it. You got TikTok blowing it up. You got YouTube blowing it up. Kendrick took his copyright off of all his diss tracks. So now, YouTubers and podcasters and everybody in between can play this without being copywritten. Like, he whitelisted these songs so y'all can get paid. Genius move. But strategically, you're going to win over the public for that. Big time. So now we have the Heart Part 6. Now we get to this. This beat was fire. First of all, by the way, like, if you were on attack mode on this beat, it would have been even better. But what else could Drake do? What else could he do? I don't blame him for making a response because he had to. You know, you're in a lose-lose situation. And that stain of having a PDF allegation on you, liking little kids and all this other stuff, that stain doesn't go away, whether you're innocent or proven guilty. It doesn't go away. So that's going to live with him for a long time, probably forever. And this track was him saying, Your Honor, I'm innocent, let me tell you why, on a fire-ass beat. Drake's angle, he just kept pressing that Dave Free is Whitney's, or not Whitney, your son's father, right? You beat your wife. That, yes, that's bad, but that angle has been, like, you've said that already multiple times. It's how you say it. You're on the defense. And in this line, I'm going to call it how it is. He quit. So, let's break down the strategy of everything. I think Meet the Grams was probably the biggest win for Kendrick for counter-striking Drake's nuke. The timing of it, I don't think he expected. 7 minutes. 7 minutes. And in the Heart Part 6, he says, the mole was planted by me. The picture of all the Maybach gloves, the prescription drugs, the Ozempic, the receipts, I planted that. I knew about all this. My 11-year-old daughter, I staged that. Now you look dumb. Okay, let's say you did. If you gave Kendrick information, right? Why did he drop it 7 minutes later after your nuke? I mean, you call yourself a war general. You say you're gifted with all these medals. That wasn't a smart move. That wasn't a smart move at all. And if you did plant the mole and you know who the mole is, wouldn't you think it would be a great time to expose that? I mean, you're losing on a lot of businesses like Nike, UMG, all your betting stuff, and the plethora of sponsorships that we don't even know about. You're losing on all that. Wouldn't you think it'd be a good time to show the facts? If we're talking facts. Now, for the people that say, well, if Kendrick really had a mole, why don't he expose him? Why don't he show his facts? Well, I'll tell you why he will never do that. If he did have a mole, chances are that mole is still working for Drake. Okay? I guarantee you, with everything I know, that mole told Kendrick, hey, don't say anything, don't expose this. If I give this to you, you can't say nothing. And Kendrick's not going to say anything. Because that shit can get dangerous. He exposes the mole, now the mole is known, and now we've seen what's happening. Something could happen to that dude. Or girl. So, Kendrick will never expose the mole. Kendrick's not going to say anything. Kendrick's been silent this whole time, which I think is another great strategy. His family's been silent. All they do is, listen, this is just who we are. We're on attack mode right now. We don't have to go to the internet and say this isn't true. We don't have to go make memes, go troll. We don't have to do that at all. Let the internet people do that for us. We don't have to do that. Kendrick's making music. Drake is, once Meet the Grams drop, he said, if anybody see my 11-year-old daughter, come bring it to me. These boys are in shambles. But I thought you planted that, though. I don't know. The response of these diss tracks is strategically not good. It almost feels like Drake didn't take this as serious as he should have. And it's showing, right? It's showing. Like, Kendrick is doing a masterclass right now. Just dissecting him in every angle, bringing in different tones, different characters, different melodic styles, the lyrics. Everybody's going and researching this shit to where, like, you gotta solve a Da Vinci Code. Like, it's like Kendrick is pulling a masterclass on this dude. And one thing that I didn't expect, and I don't think Drake expected this neither, the one thing that this dude can't do is out-hit me. He can't make a hit at all. We don't have to worry about that. If I were Drake, I'd be like, I can hit maker him all day long and just have the internet on my side. Because I am the internet, right? Well, boy, we were all wrong. We were all wrong. Not Like Us is a smash hit. It is going through the fucking roof. And it is the creme de la creme of a knockout punch. It's over. It's over. It's over. And the closing argument was Kendrick's Not Like Us and Drake's Heart Part 6. Which one are you going to pick? You know what I mean? Which one are you going to pick to go up to the stand? Now, the public opinion. I have been deeply involved in this, probably too much. I don't see a lot of Drake support at all. I don't. I've listened to the hip-hop aficionados, the streamers, the reactors, people that have 10 views on YouTube. There's not a lot of Drake support. I mean, go outside. Go outside tonight. Go out in the club tonight, and you will find your winner. And it doesn't matter where you're from. It don't matter where you're from. Your winner will be decided whatever you hear tonight. And watch the reaction of the people. Just listen to the chants. So, honestly, when we reflect on all this, I think Drake just made a mistake on using what worked last time. He thought, I'm battle tested. I beat Meek Mill. I went up against Pusha, right? He lost, but this dude hasn't went up against anybody yet. He's not really that scary. One thing about Kendrick is you can take all his diss tracks and you can decipher them however you want. The one thing about it is there is no right or wrong answer. You're right. It's crazy. The back-to-back line, I like that record. I'm going to get back to that for the record. Could have meant a bunch of shit. It could have meant I'm dropping Euphoria in 616. It could have meant the Daylight shit where he wrote back-to-back for Drake. It could have been Not Like Us being the back-to-back where during that time, back-to-back was being played everywhere. Like, when I was playing college and basketball in college, we warmed up to that song. A diss track. So now, like, all this is coming full circle. I think this was a lose-lose for Drake regardless. He just had way more to lose than he had to gain for this. Kendrick had nothing to lose. He's an independent. He's a recluse. Like, he doesn't post anything. He doesn't live on the internet. And he beat you at your own game. And now he's going to drop an album this summer. And it's going to go through the fucking roof. Through the roof. And now J. Cole looks like he's a saint. J. Cole looks like the smartest human being of all time, man. I was not a fan of the apology shit, but goddamn it, I see why. But like I said, if you go back to episode 17 of Free Game, I predicted all this shit before Like That happened. I didn't like J. Cole and Drake collabing anyway. I didn't like that shit at all. But now we have some evidence on why. And I feel good about it. You know what I mean? This has been a great month and a half of me on my high horse, because as a Kendrick fan, I'm a Drake fan as well. You know, Drake's my favorite artist, but Kendrick's my favorite rapper. And picking Kendrick during this whole battle, it has been tough, but we're up. They're not like us, baby. They are not like us. But that's it. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Just, that's my opinion. I think Kendrick won. If you want to say Drake won, hey, peace. You know, all love to you. But I just think the battle was fought better. You know, if we're talking sports-wise, if Kendrick was a team and Drake was a team, I think Kendrick had the better coach. You know what I mean? And that goes a long way. But yeah, I applaud both these people, man. I applaud Kendrick. I applaud Drake. This is the most fun that I've had talking about hip-hop in my life. I've had people hit me up that I never even knew listened to hip-hop at all, saying, what's your thoughts on Kendrick versus Drake? Like, this shit is insane. And we needed it. As hip-hop fans, as the genre itself, we needed this. I applaud Kendrick. I applaud Drake for dropping absolute heat back to 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 back. And the summer's going to be lit, bro. I just got a grill. I'm going to be grilling up with Not Like Us playing in the background. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. You will get addressed. I'm going to tell you that right now. We will address you on Free Game. That's just how we do it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great day. And I'm out.